Vanna is going to wear her cold shoulder ensemble. I should be able to remember. We're practically twins. I'm just... Oh, hey, dolls. It's me, Wilma Fingerdoo, with the Fingerdoo review of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Star 7 All Winners Edition Episode 3. Is it only Episode 3? And it's only week 2? Oh, my God. I feel like I've been watching this almost as long as I watched Season 14. I'm just saying. But I do mean that in a good way. But before we get started with this episode, I've got to thank Mark Atha for dropping by a Fingerdoo. Thank you, Mark. You're the best. I also need to show off my latest Redbubble model. This is Dave Steelhat. That's a picture of his latest purchase, Larda Souza's Jorge, Drink Me. No. And then that's Dave in his Friends of Jorge long sleeve tee. You're looking gorgeous, Dave. As you know, Lars Friends of Jorge is my pride design for 2022, and all the proceeds from any sales from that image will be going directly from me to Rainbow Railroad for the whole year. Not just for Pride season, for the whole year. So, if you'd like to check out my Redbubble store, or find out more about Rainbow Railroad, or become a Fingerdoo, all those links and many more are in the description box down below. Now, Jorge, drink me! Oh, look at the... We're back to the regular size, but there's more ice in this one. It's more like a pink glacier than a pink pucker. No, that's a pucker, all right. I'll tell you what. Okay, so let's get to it. As you may remember, when we last were in the workroom, Jinkx Monsoon had won the Snatch Game Challenge and blocked Shea Coulee. As Shea wasn't in the room yet, well, the queens talked about her, like you do. Well, Jinkx talked about why she blocked her at any rate. It was down to Shea already having a star, and that possibly Snatch Game is one of her weakest skills, so Jinkx took advantage of the opportunity and blocked her. The rest of the queens agreed. Good strategy. Especially Monet. That's when Shea walked in with her platinum plunger. I love that Shea psyched them all out by implying there were secret benefits in getting blocked, because Secret Benefits was the name of my French play. I also love that Trinity, without batting an eye, well, that may be the Botox, I don't know, we're not close, but she supported Shea's claim to the alleged benefits of blocking by sitting next to her and sharing secrets. Either way, the room was shook. Hey, if you want to strike fear into the hearts of those around you, act like an 8-year-old. Seriously. The next day, Jinkx and her legendary legend star sisters were given a round of applause, much to Trinity's chagrin. But before Trinity could read the room, Ru showed up doing the Blair St. Clair. Let's all do it. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I feel better already. That should be a yoga move. I'm just going to say it. More people do yoga. And that's not all. Ru also had a mini challenge. Hung Man. Not like that. This was the Drag Race take on the word game Hangman, and was totally unnecessary except for the glimpse we got of Calix looking all posy and sexy and bored. I'm just going to say, hey, I can keep him busy. I'll just tell you what. The answer to the before and after puzzle was Vanna White Party. Before and after, Vanna White Party. Anyway, it was just a big teaser for this week's Maxi Challenge, the Realness of Fortune Ball. Yes, the queens had to serve up 3 Wheel of Fortune looks without actually saying Wheel of Fortune. The Vanna White Realness, before and after, and for the final category, Realness of Fortune Eleganza, made from scratch. And then, as I said, because the queens apparently couldn't actually say Wheel of Fortune, they just spun a wheel to see what exotic destination would be their color inspiration for that made-from-scratch round. Each queen took a spin at the wheel, or maybe because there was a $500 spot and a $1,000 spot on the wheel, well, they more or less just nudged it. Either way, Jinkx got Lavender Fields of Provence. Shea got the White Cliffs of Dover, and well, they got to be white because there's a high level of chalk in those cliffs. I'm just saying. Monet got the Emerald Isle of Ireland. Jada got the Black Sand Beach of Hawaii. And Well, it got to be black because of the high basalt levels, because Hawaii is a volcano after all. You're welcome. Roger got the Golden Pagoda in Yangon, Myanmar, which she seemed completely pleased with. Well, gold, how can you go wrong? Gold. There was a moment of excitement when Evie landed on both the $500 and $1,000 spaces, but then, well, she hit bankrupt, poor thing. That gave Vivi an opportunity to swoop in and grab her first cash prize on Drag Race ever. Here's to the Vivi. She also nabbed herself the Great Blue Hole Bellies as her runway theme. You know, I'm not proud of this, but Great Blue Hole was my nickname during the Iditarod. No, there's no graphics. I said I'm not proud. These poor Huskies. It's like a double entendre. The Great Blue Hole and Iditarod. Maybe they should do more rods. Their hole wouldn't be so blue. I'm not a doctor. That said, Evie's final runway theme was the pink city of Jaipur, India, which left Red Square, Moscow for Trinity. Right away, the queens got to sewing, and because everyone had been assigned a color, it was a kinder, gentler situation as the queens collected their materials. Is anyone else missing that touch of sloppiness that a regular season of Drag Race has? You know, when they're elbows to the face and pushing people down, stealing wigs? Just me? So polite this season. Trinity was first to the sewing machines, and, well, that worried some of the queens, while Roger was worried about living up to her own reputation for creating couture out of thin air. I feel like her years of tooting and booting other queens might be sneaking up on her. Just me? Jada asked an interesting question. Would Jinkx have still blocked Shea if she knew what the next challenge would be? Luckily, Jinkx blocked one of the 4 queens in the room known for their sewing skills. You know who's not known for her sewing skills? Jinkx. And that was evident the minute she tried to use the sewing machine, God bless her. Shea was having issues with her white theme looking too bridal, especially since she'd rocked some gorgeous bridal in the past. I say go with your strengths, seriously. Ru popped by to check on the queens and started it off by asking Jinkx why she picked Shea for the block, and because Jinkx gave Ru the same answer she gave everyone else, I was starting to believe it. Ru also asked Jinkx if her sewing skills had improved since season 5. Jinkx showed Ru all the fabric she'd been braiding. So that answer is no. Monet told Ru she was not only doing a 70s look for her couture, but that she was in All Stars with a strategy. Of course, she didn't say what that was, but let's face it, hasn't let her down so far, just saying. Ru was super impressed with Jada's idea to break up her black couture with texture. Of course, Jada had made most of her wardrobe for season 12, so there was no doubt that she was going to rock that runway. Of course, she did say off the top of the show that she had a plan. Mind you, so does Monet. Evie was next, and Ru almost flirted with her over how sexy her boogeyman for Snatch Game was. Could Evie be Ru's next Georges? Probably not, seeing as Evie is 28. There's an age cap for trade, right? What is it, 20? 21? What is it? As the queens were knee-deep in their stitching bitch, poor Jinkx was at a loss. God bless Trinity. She literally took 5 minutes to create her red vinyl fantasy, so she stepped up to help Jinkx. Now, to be fair, Trinity didn't design anything for Jinkx. She just helped her complete her look. See? It's a kinder, gentler Drag Race when people aren't at the risk of sashaying. Here's to All-Star 7, seriously. And then it was Elimination Day, and the queens were putting finishing touches on their looks. Trinity and Monet confirmed that they were in an alliance, but Monet thought there would be strength in numbers and invited Jinkx to join their ranks. Probably because she was worried Jinkx could win future challenges and potentially block her. Jinkx may have been thinking along these lines herself and declined the alliance, but did say she owed Trinity for helping her finish her dress and Monet for, well, whatever Monet's been bringing to the table so far. I don't know. Personally, I think Jinkx did the right thing. Trinity, on the other hand, wanted to hedge her bets by approaching Shea to join her and Monet. I love that Shea pointed out that Monet already had 1 star and no blocks, so What is she bringing to the alliance? Then, much to Trinity's chagrin, Shea brought Jada into the conversation. Trinity didn't see the point in a secret alliance if everybody knows about it. And worst of all, no one seemed interested in joining them. Well, that doesn't bode well. And then it was on to the main stage where Ru looked stunning. This dress was gorgeous, but this look was all about that wig. Speaking of wigs, Michelle looked gorgeous, didn't she? And Carson, not wanting to fade into the background, was vivid in a red blazer. Seriously, that didn't hurt anyone else's eyes. And joining the judges this week was the beyond beautiful Kirby Howell-Baptiste. You may know Kirby from the series Why Women Kill, but did you know she was also Anita Darling in Cruella? Just FYI. And then it was time for the Realness of Fortune Ball. Category is Vanna White Realness. And then Vanna White walked out looking fabulous. Apparently, you can't have an unlicensed Wheel of Fortune themed runway without her. I didn't know. Good to know anyway. And why would you want to? It was worth having her just to watch the Queen's reactions to her standing there at the end of the runway. She looked good. Here's to you, Vanna White. Seriously, have you read her book, Vanna Speaks? It's fantastic. The first category was Vanna White Realness, which Jinkx interpreted as Vanna White, High Priestess of the Moon, or some such thing. It's not that the dress was bad. It just wasn't something Vanna would wear, so I have to give her a finger don't. Jinkx's look for the second round before and after was Baby Jane Fonda. I thought this was brilliant and more than made up for that first dress, so Fingerdoo for Jinkx, just saying. Now, we all know Jinkx's third look for the Realness of Fortune Eleganza was going to look rough. But I have to admit it looked better than I thought it was going to. Don't get me wrong. It was still a busy mess, but I can see how her shame in wearing it would inspire that mask-like face covering that she put on last minute. But I was still expecting worse. Either way, it was a finger don't from me, bless her. Shea's Vanna White Realness was way too elegant, if you ask me. She looked too good, which is why I still gave her a finger do. Her before and after look was Gold Tooth Fairy, and I have to say, I liked this so much I gave it a finger do too. As for Shea's Realness of Fortune Eleganza, I'm so glad she did bridal, because that was breathtaking. Totally original, and in my opinion, one of the best looks of the night. Seriously, finger do for Shea. I thought Monet looked great in her Vanna White Realness, but that dress was too tight across her bust, and although I know where she was going with that slit in her skirt, the wideness of it and that tight bodice made this whole dress look like it didn't fit right. So I had to give Monet a finger don't. Thankfully, her before and after Bob the Drag Queen Elizabeth was adorable. I had heard that she wanted to do SpongeBob the Drag Queen, but there was an issue with licensing. Apparently, you can't have an unofficial Wheel of Fortune theme challenge and SpongeBob in the same show. Apparently, Hasselhoff shows up. But who cares about all of that when Monet's third look was beyond stunning? And her butt looks so good in it. I can't believe she made that. Finger do for Monet, it's just saying. I think Jada Essence Hall had one of the best Vanna White Realness looks of the night, so I totally gave her a finger do. I also really liked her before and after look. Bag Lady in red. Whoever came up with this idea needs a present, if you ask me. Whoever said to Jada, you should make a dress with backpacks on it, like cargo pants. Seriously, that's $1 million idea. Watch, Gucci will have dresses like that this fall. Watch. Just saying. As for Jada's final look, of course I gave it a finger do. It was one of the better made looks of the night. But then, well, she a seamstress, just the same. I think that Roger had the second best Vanna look of the night, so I had no trouble giving her Vanna White Realness a finger do. As for her before and after look, I wish she'd done something else with the John Waters part of Olivia Newton-John Waters. Because the pencil mustache, the John Waters pencil mustache, I couldn't see it. I couldn't see it. Carson couldn't see it. People couldn't see it. Personally, I would have loved to have seen John Waters' whole head on Olivia's body. I'd have finger doed that in a minute, but I had to give this look a finger don't. Thank God Roger's final look was this gold shimmering ruffle of loveliness. Who else clutched pearls? Roger was totally right when she said she looked good. She wasn't lying. This was so stunning that I don't remember what her last look was. Well done, Roger. Here's a Fingerdoo for your troubles, I'm just going to say. Evie's Vanna White realness wasn't just the worst of the night. I think that it was her worst look, period. I don't know what she was thinking, but I would have taken this look a lot easier if she'd worn a blonde wig. Am I wrong? This is a total Fingerdoo. Thankfully, her before and after look, invoking the memory of B. Arthur and wiping it completely from my mind when she transformed into Cardi B, was spectacular. Of course I gave her a Fingerdoo. As for her last look, I thought this was beautiful and very editorial. There was a sweetness to this look that I think made it her best look of the night. So I totally gave her a Fingerdoo for this too. Well done to Evie. I love Vivi's Vanna White realness, but there was something off about the color of that dress for me. Or maybe it was because it was velvet. It kind of looked like a bathrobe, but still, I gave her a Fingerdoo. As for Vivi's before and after, I liked the idea, but she didn't execute it very well. Her Princess Diana Ross was more Ross than Princess, but I think that was down to the wig and the jumpsuit. So, everything, I guess, is what I'm saying. Who am I kidding? I'm just delaying having to give Vivi a Fingerdoo. As for her final runway, not only can't I believe that Vivi made that dress, I can't believe she never wears blue. This color was stunning on her. Never mind that it was another one of the best made garments on the runway. Fingerdoo for Vivi, seriously. Finally, we have Trinity. Her Vanna White realness was spectacular too. Definitely another one of the best, so I obviously gave her a Fingerdoo. I wasn't a fan of her RuPaul Charles II. It's not that it looked bad, it just wasn't that impressive, but as I looked at it more, I thought that the look was more of a dig to what Ru really has on behind the judges' table, and that's why I gave it a Fingerdoo. And then she stepped out on that runway in her realness of Fortune eleganza. I'm glad I saw her working on this in the workroom because I would never have believed that anyone, never mind Trinity, just whipped that up. Seriously. Oh, holy crap, 24 looks in one show. Maybe they should have eliminated one or two queens before this challenge. Back in the Untucked lounge, the queens kikied over each other's dresses. Evie got emotional over all the camaraderie, and Kirby Howell-Baptiste dropped in to say hi. All in all, it was a rich tapestry, but all kidding aside, something that I was surprised to hear was that Trinity had helped everyone with their sewing in one way or another. It was truly lovely to see. Wait, she wasn't trying to sabotage anyone, was she? And then all the queens changed into more dance-friendly outfits. I don't know why. I guess the less impressive ones didn't want to be left out. Back on the main stage, Ru announced that the top two queens were Jada Essence Hall and, praise the baby Jesus, Trinity. Finally, she's got a star. Everyone can relax. You know, I'll take a break now. Trinity's got a star. Can you imagine if she hadn't got one? Trinity and Jada had to lip sync to Beyonce's Green Light, and neither of these queens made it easy for the other. Trinity took a few comedic turns with the song while Jada danced it out. Then, they both mind playing the same saxophone? I'm guessing it was a saxophone. All in all, I thought they both did a great job, but when the music died, it was Jada Essence Hall who nabbed the $10,000 tip and the power to block a queen. And who did she block, you ask? Smartly so, she blocked Jinkx. I have to say, I was super impressed by this, especially after Jinkx had admitted that the sewing challenge was her only weakness. Block them while they're down, Jada. I'm just saying. So smart. Seriously. So, what do you think? Were the right two queens in the top? Did the right queen win the lip sync? Was the right queen blocked? All we can do is tune in to RuPaul's Drag Race next week to see how it all turns out. And when you're done, you come on back and you see me so you and I can compare notes. Now, don't forget to like this video if you did, subscribe to it if you haven't, and please check out all my links in the description box down below for ways that you can help support me and this channel. Until next week, miss me! Mwah. Seriously, okay. Actually, you know, I'm actually going to tell you, my shoulders are cold. Just a little nippy on the shoulders. I'm just saying. Maybe that's why they invented wraps. That's the big trick to this game: is don't land in the bottom. Like try and win. If these queens keep aiming for wins, then they won't be in the bottom, which means they can't be blocked. But how they allowed Monet to miss a block? So we've got Shay, Jada, Trinity, Monet, and Jinkx, all with badges now. One each, 5. I don't know. They've only got how many more episodes? 8, 9. So there's only so many chances for badges here. Oh, this is going to be interesting. I wonder how cordial everyone's going to be in another couple of weeks when there's less and less badges up for grabs. Oh my God. It's going to go from kinder, gentler to a thumb in the eye. They may win another Emmy.